This is Grapplers Talk.
You were talking earlier and saying, there's about 40 matches on an Arte Suave card, and roughly you guys can get anywhere between, 100 to 300 different applicants, or maybe more, maybe less. But what do you do with all of those other applicants? Do you try to keep them around to fill other cards that are coming up, or just kind of keep them on standby, or what's the process like with those people that don't make it on an Arte Suave card?
If they don't make it on, they don't make it on, to be as honest as possible. There's not enough room. There's not enough time, right? You're looking at 4 to 5 hours of jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And, people don't want to stay past that unless it's ADCC where you're like sitting there for 12 hours. Right. But yeah, no, we don't get them on. However, if there's somebody like going back to my previous example, Xavier down at Atos, he was pushing really hard to get on. He was trying everything, and he was willing to fight anyone. Didn't matter what weight. The next time, if I didn't get him a match, he's gonna get a match the next time. I'm gonna prioritize him the same way I would like a main event or co-main event. Yeah. Because I know that particular kid wants to get on, and I think it's important for them to have those opportunities.
Yeah, especially me and Alfredo were kind of talking about it. I said these matches don't really count towards like a professional record. Right. He said some people keep track of their super fight records.
They do.
And that's cool, but regardless how you look at it, it's that time on the mats, right? Mm-hmm. And you can't replace that time on the mats for anything, and you got to have it to get good at jiu-jitsu. And it's good for these kids to be able to test themselves. It's good for adults to be able to test themselves. Yeah. And really challenge themselves. A lot of people use these tournaments to sometimes get ready for bigger ones out there. Yep. So that's another plus. And, you got to have the reps, right? If you're going for like an ADCC Open, you're going to try to get on as many cards as you can to get ready for something like that, right?
For sure. And that was actually a contributing factor to us moving our Las Vegas card. We were supposed to be, Alfredo mentioned it on his podcast with you, that we originally had picked a date in Las Vegas, and then ADCC San Diego got released the date, and we were just like, fuck, all right, we're going to have to move it, and so let's move it forward, giving people the opportunity to get that last little tune-up match for ADCC. So, it's important for people to have that mat time, and the more time you have, the better athlete you think you're going to be.
Yeah. What's a standout match that you can think of that either you have made personally or somebody in the Arte Suave organization has made that was just one of the best matches that you can remember? Obviously, you're a big fan of this, so I'm sure you keep up. You've been to a lot of the shows. So what's one of the standout matches that you can remember that really stands out to you?
Man, it's so hard to narrow down, to be honest with you. There's so many good matches. There was one that really impressed me. Is this kid named Jackson Steele.
Okay,
from Lodi.
From Strive.
From Strive, he's here in Lodi.
Tough kid, man.
Yeah, really tough kid. He was supposed to fight a kid out of 10th Planet named Johnny. I'm going to brutalize his last name, sorry. Mezareski, I believe is how you say it. And Johnny's just a phenom. Young, talented kid. And unfortunately, Johnny got hurt. And so we were scrambling to find a replacement because it was for a title match.
How much time did you guys have to get that done?
A week.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's down to the wire.
Yeah, it was a week. We had a week. He ended up pulling out a week before the event. Unfortunately, injury happened. I get it. But Jackson had put in the work. Yeah. And I know Manny, the owner of Strive, and I know he's going to push him. Yeah. And I don't want that to be all wasted. So we tried really hard to find somebody, and I actually ended up getting a DM from a kid out of Renzo Gracie Reno named Isaac.
Okay.
And Isaac messaged saying, hey, I'll take that fight. And Isaac was actually 10 pounds less than Jackson on 1 week notice and came in, and they had a war, 15 minutes. Yeah. Nonstop. They did not stop. And Isaac ended up winning.
Yeah.
Very impressed with that. Very impressed with that. Stay ready.
Right.
There's that, and then another one that I made. I actually had to go down to the guy's academy and talk to him because I was like, man, I really want you on this card.
Yeah.
And I think I have a really good opportunity for you, but it's no gi. And he's mostly a gi fighter. His name's Cam King. Trains out of Cesar Gracie, Pleasant Hill.
Okay.
And I went down to the academy and talked to him, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And he was fighting Alex Kanders, who's the Walnut Creek 10th Planet owner.
Okay.
And it was a great match, back and forth.
Yeah.
Very similar to ADCC style vibes, where they were off the mats and submissions, and we're moving people out of the way, moving chairs, and let them have fun, let them go out there and scrap.
Right.
So yeah, those fights, seeing those come to fruition are really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, multitask. But back to the Chris Vickers, he got a Pride of the Streets. Yeah, I had a Royal Rumble there. That was the first one that we were like, when he told us about it, it was months and months ahead. Yeah. He was still trying to set it up. So we were at, I think, Grappling Industries or something, and he was like, "Hey, I want you guys to know," it was me and Will, "I want you guys to know I'm setting up this, you like WWE?" And I don't really like WWE too much. I didn't grow up watching it. Will's like
a fan,
die hard. So I'm sitting there, I'm seeing his eyes light up, and he was like, "Yeah," and then he was like, "I'm having I'm putting on an event, and it's gonna be a Royal Rumble. It's gonna be everybody going at once." And that's pretty much how he explained it to us to begin with, right? So then months later, down the line, he invites us, and I sign up. But the way the rules were, it was you could sign up with your team. You could have like 5 or something per team sign up. I was the only one that signed up, which is fine. I like solo missions. It's no big deal. I'll take a side mission. And so I sign up. Test the water, see how it goes. I'm the guinea pig. I'll be the guinea pig of the team. And then, so there was like, I don't even know how many teams there were, but like I said, you could have up to 5 on your team.
Yeah.
And the way he set it up was one person or 2 people start, and maybe like 1 minute passes and one other person goes in.
Okay.
Another minute passes, another person goes in. Another minute passes, another person goes in, but it was hella 10th Planet dudes.
Okay.
So
it was, the order meant a lot though, right? Like if all 10th Planet guys get in there, then they can gang up on you, right?
That's what it was at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So a bunch of 10th Planet dudes just started jumping other dudes and knocking out other teams. So it was basically, it got to the point where it was like 7 10th Planet dudes, and then the 8th one came in, and they were all just on the wall, just waiting for someone else to come in. So then Chris was like, "All right, dude, he called them all hoes," and he was like, "The next person I see stalling is out. This isn't okay." He adjusted it. So I'm pretty sure the next Royal Rumble, they're gonna have the little tweaks.
Yeah, that's interesting. So they're all just stalling against the wall.
So boom. So I get in. Yeah. Right.
What was your approach on this one?
My approach, I'm going for the biggest dude here.
Yeah.
Right, because he was by himself.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. It was I would shout him out, but I don't want to. No, he's a homie though. So I get in, and it just so happens that it's me and the bigger dude, and I lock in on him. And we start hand fighting a little bit, and someone jumps on my back. And the second I feel him on my back, I slingshot him off of my shoulders, and he face plants in front of me. And I'm able to get around, and everybody's trying to. At that point, I have everyone's attention.
Yeah.
So now everyone's trying to lock in on me.
Yeah, you're like the Big Show going into this.
I'm the people's champ. I got to play my part. So look, so now at this point, everyone's trying to lock in on me, and I end up getting taken out of there. It was like 4 or 5 dudes took me out of there.
It took 4 or 5. The multi-people elimination.
It took a handful of dudes. It took the dude that I started out with locked in on my legs.
Yeah, and
I was like stapled. I couldn't move, and at that point, everybody just capitalized.
Yeah,
but it was a great experience.
Was it the leg lock that got you at the end, or
no? Someone got around my neck. It wasn't even a leg lock. He just held my legs.
Yeah,
he wrapped. He wrapped my legs, like bear hugged my legs, elbow to elbow, and took me down. And everyone else jumped on my back from there. And
that's hilarious.
Me out. But it was a beautiful experience. I loved it. I'm definitely gonna do it again. Hopefully with the team.
Yeah. You got to get more buddies in there.
Yeah,
definitely.
I tried to make an alliance. Even if you make an alliance with
or
people
get in there quick, right? And then you could just do like back in the day, Royal Rumble 1994. The Big Daddy Cool Diesel eliminated like 25 people straight. Man, it was crazy. He went on a run.
That was my plan.
He was standing in there by himself most of the night.
That was my plan. Honestly, the dude that
quick.
took me out, the reason I went out, if he didn't take me out, he was my biggest challenge on the ring. And the sick part about that whole competition is the dude that jumped on my back while I was hand fighting ended up winning the whole thing.
Oh wow. Now
the tables turned.
Yeah. What was the cash prize for that one?
I don't remember. Who cares?
Yeah. He does cash prizes though, right?
Yeah, he does. He pays well too.
Yeah. I've seen Ismael's won a bunch of them, dude, and he's done
good.
He's done well out there.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Dude, you had a great a great montage of videos for the Arte Suave Rewind event where you went up against Matthias. Making those videos were freaking incredible. Who was your camera crew? Like, what was the thought behind it? Like, did you come up with all that by yourself? Because it was incredible.
That's just the mind of Club Tracy, man. Yeah. We all work as a collective, dude. Honestly, that's just all that was Alika Foster, Will Alexander a little bit. DJs people were background. They were extras.
Yeah.
It was all just the club, man. We all work together. And when everybody has an idea, we all piggyback off of each other and then we make it gold. But our camera crew, specifically for the club, would be Gilbert G Moments on Instagram. If you want to check him out, his work is dope. And besides him, we got Ground Gamer stuff coming out. Work with Brian. I don't know if you know Brian from Charles Gracie.
I don't.
I can't think his Instagram off the top of my head. He's gonna hate me, man. I feel hella bad, but yeah, we have a couple of photographers that are doing pretty good. Cyrus coming up.
Yeah, he's been working on his photography. He was talking about that.
No hair.
Yeah,
photos. Yeah, just giving everybody free promo right now.
Yeah.
What was the question?
We were talking about your promo for the Arte Suave and how you came up with all that.
Yeah, I just kept piggybacking off everybody's thoughts.
Yeah,
of course, there's a base.
My favorite video was the one where you're sitting in the pool and like you got like a cigarette or something. You got the belt on and glasses and you're like, oh yeah. You're going to give your money to charity. Well, I'm going to fucking spend that shit.
Those ones that was fun. I'm going to do something else like that too coming up. I just talked to Arte Suave recently, and we're going to have something else coming up with somebody's going to try to take my belt.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bigger dude, so it's going to be a little more thoughtful approach. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the same entertainment.
One of the things I read on the Reddit forums was some people give credit to Cade Bertolo. Where did that come from? I know he's finished a lot of people with the buggy choke.
He's awesome, man.
Did you get to meet him ever, or how did that work?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure we will. So it's crazy because I was actually, I forget what I was doing that night, but I got a phone call from Rose Gracie. She goes, Austin, sit down. Right? I'm like, oh shit, what happened? Right? And so I sit down and she goes, all right, I'm sending you this video. So she sends me this video and she goes, all right, check it out. I watched the video. It's Cade in Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds in the final, winning Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds with a buggy choke, right? It's like, and I was just like, holy shit, it was so sick. I want to say that was the one against PJ Barch, I think. Yeah, he has multiple. Cade has multiple.
He's had a ton of them. Yeah.
Him and his brother Ty, bro, they're super good with it. Ty he didn't finish either of these two names, but I've seen Ty throw them in like official matches against Mergali. I've seen him throw them at Craig Jones.
Yes.
Like, speaking of Craig Jones, he's one of the best, possibly the best buggy choker in the world.
Yeah.
He's so good, bro. It's so beautiful.
His flexibility in his legs is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Craig Jones is an animal.
Yeah, so that was that's where the Cade gets the credit from is that one, and then the one I think he hit in Who's Number One. Another big buggier was this was so sick. It was Renee Souza and Derek Rayfield at headquarters, 10th Planet headquarters. Renee throws a buggy on Derek, and then Derek throws a counter buggy. So they're bugging each other at the same time. And then Derek actually won, the squeeze off, and Renee had to tap. But I was chatting with Renee just like probably over a year ago now, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, but I was so like, I was so upset about that loss that basically I focused on developing my buggy so much that I don't know how long, a few months or something after that, Renee buggy choked J-Rod in Who's Number One. It was so sick, bro. J-Rod.
Yeah, they're just passing it back and forth. Too. Yeah.
Dude, like, it was so crazy.
Yeah.
And then J-Rod won, actually, I think it was before that last story that J-Rod won ADCC West Coast Trials, got his purple with a buggy,
Yeah.
And he added this variation where you do this punch choke when they're kind of slipping out a little bit. It exposes their close side carotid.
Yeah.
You just punch choke on there.
Man, that is badass, dude.
Yeah.
So let's back up just a little bit, right? When did the world discover the buggy choke? Obviously, you're doing it at Ralph Gracie's, you're doing it in the gym, but to get it nationally known and worldwide known, I mean, I'm sure there's still some people that haven't, got too deep on it, but it's getting popular and popular. How did the world find out?
So, good question. So, I was doing it at the school, and I was competing a lot, and I really wanted to hit it in competition. So I think it was, I don't know, 2015 probably, Worlds, IBJJF Worlds, I believe it was. I had a dude in it, and I had him in there for like 2 minutes or something, and he was like gurgling, but he didn't tap, right? So then right after that, Alexei Bordas, who the guy I mentioned, who's first guy who ever choked me unconscious, he was like, "Bro, you got to find transitions off of there," right? So thanks to him and that coaching, I found a whole bunch of variations just directly thanks to exploring from what he had recommended.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I've been trying to hit it for years in competition. So 2016, I go to Gracie Worlds, just like, I don't know, June, July-ish, right? In SoCal, Rose Gracie's Gracie Worlds, right? Submission only. And I hit it twice the Sunday, the no-gi. And it's my first time hitting it in competition. I hit it twice, right? So then the first video of that kind of went all over the States, like East Coast guys it was blowing up in the community.
Yeah.
And then, like I got text like a few days later. He's like, "Bro," like one of my buddies, Tom, I think it was Tom Stern. He was like, "Dude, you're countrywide." I was like, white belt, bro. He's just insane. Yeah. And then, so then the way it really blew up though was, I went to compete in another of Rose's tournaments in Florida. So, I had met her the day of the gi day before the no-gi day that I had hit it. And I had this match against this guy that was like sandbagger. He was like, super strong. He had submitted all his opponents in like 20 seconds, and Rose was like, "Oh, who's this sandbagger fighting in the final?" "Oh, okay. Oh, it's a Ralph Gracie guy." So then she gave me the option for, do I want no time limit submission only, or do I want time limit EBI rules, something like that. And I was like, no time limit, submission only. Because I was like, bro, like this guy, I got a way better chance than that. Because I don't know if I could finish this guy in that time, but like I believed in my jiu-jitsu, and like, and I'm kind of, I get smashed by all these killers. I was like, white belt can't tap me, like, so anyway, 21 plus minute fight. Wow. And he actually had my right arm and leg shin stapled, and I go plotted him with one hand and one foot. Wow. And and both his coaches on the video, you can hear him say, "What happened?" So anyway, Rose was actually at Matt's side watching. So I met her right after that, because I had desperately asked for somebody to film my match, you know. I was in the final, you know, and nobody wanted to do it. Everyone looking away, like, who's this weirdo? Don't bother me, you know. But this young girl, she was like, I'll film it, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll pay you. I think I said $80 or whatever. Like, anyone, please, can you film for me? I'll give you $80. I have the cash right here, right? And like, so she's like, I'll do it, and then turns out that was Rose's daughter.
Wow.
You know, I didn't know. And so then afterwards, you know, of course I pay her, and Rose won't let me pay her.
Yeah.
Right. She's like, no, you already came, you're fighting our tournament. No, you're not going to pay. And I was like, please, like, this is the coolest match I've ever had. Like, I really want to pay. Like, please. I gave my promise. I have to, you know, and they wouldn't take it. So I left it on the ground. Right. Yeah. So that's how we met. So then, so anyway, going out to Florida to fight in, I don't know, Gracie Regionals or Nationals or something like that, right? And you know, Rose texts me when I'm in the airport in California about to fly to Fort Lauderdale, and she goes, hey, bro, you probably don't want to fly out here because there's a hurricane coming in, and like, yeah, there's a small chance it could turn, but like, it's not going to turn, bro. We're going to cancel the tournament. Yeah. And I was like, so you're saying there's a chance? Right? So I was like, I'm coming, bro. Yeah. So I get, you know, she's like, you crazy. So I go out, and as soon as I landed Fort Lauderdale, I remember seeing on the TV as I walked off the plane ramp, this is the governor of Florida saying, evacuate the east coast of Florida, like, leave the city, you know. And so I ran this SUV. It drove 260 miles to Tampa, and you know, and then Rose texted me like the next day. I think she's like, all right, I'm going to send you to train with these guys for a week, you know, because you came all the way out here and the tournament's not happening. I take care of my guys. So she sent me to train with Rob Kahn, bro. That's Royce Gracie's first black belt, dude.
Yeah, that's like, crazy.
Dude, it was sick, bro. He's so high level. So I trained with them, like, you know, like 2-3 times a day for the whole week. And then the last day, she sends me to go train with Lil Tony Pozensky. And they're both at the time both out in Tampa. I don't. They might still be both in there. I think Tony's. I want to say Air Force. So I think he was in Japan for a while. I don't even know. But anyway, so the day I go train with Tony, you know, I'm buggy choking his white belts, blue belts, and then you know, I'm explaining the choke to them. They're like, "What the fuck is this?" You know, white belts love this shit, right? So then I roll with Tony, and I'm an infant.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just an infant, and I'm not impressive at all. Yeah. You know, I just can't do anything, right? And I'm all bummed out, like, oh, damn it. Like, Rose talked me up to this guy, and now he thinks I suck.
Yeah.
But then right afterwards, you know, it probably gave me good motivation, because then I buggy choked this big brown belt guy. And Tony was watching, and some of the other black belts were watching, right? So I hit this brown belt, and he was like visiting from LA. And then and Tony goes, all right, let me see this thing again. Show me this thing again, right? So I show him, and he goes, can we film this? And I was like, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Please,
yeah, please do.
So then we film it, and you know, he puts it on his YouTube, and the next morning it has 75,000 views, you know, and it's like, blows up viral. Yeah. And yeah, bro. So that's when it kind of went viral worldwide and got on all, like, BJJ Eastern Europe, all the you know, the websites and the you know, whatever, the article writer people.
Right.
And so, you know, I came home, and I was like, I had US Open coming up, and I was like, I know I got to prove it. Like, I know I got to prove it now, you know? So 4 days out from US Open, my professor pulls me from, you know, warm-ups, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna weigh you. I know you have US Open in 4 days. So he weighs me, and I'm 19.6 pounds over. Yeah. And he's like, bro, you're not going to make it. You have to email them and change your weight. I was like, no, I'm going to make it. I didn't even know how to weight cut back then, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, I got to do it.
And you're still white belt at the time, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, I had cut a little weight before, and I had gotten double gold and subbed everyone on the time I cut weight. So I was like, oh, I got to cut weight, right? Yeah. So I was like, I didn't know, like, oh shit, you don't know what you're doing with weight cutting. You cut 19, 20 pounds, you're gonna die, bro.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I didn't eat anything the whole 4 days, and then like the last 2 days I didn't drink anything, and then I went in the sauna for like 10 minutes in, 5 minutes out, like for like 6 hours, bro.
Wow.
Like I looked like death, you know.
Yeah.
But I made it.
Nice.
And then I subbed all 5 in U.S. Open and white belt, so like only have 5 minutes. You know, I tapped everybody. Oh, impressive! Tap 5 white belts. Congratulations! but in the semifinal and the final, I caught inverse buggies.
Wow.
So, and then you know, my professor was. I got the video, like him and Professor Eduardo and Alan were right there, and he's just jumping in the air, screaming like, yeah, you know. And he's like, shake your opponent's hand, fool, and like, don't celebrate, like, you know. And yeah, and then so then he gave me blue belt on the podium at U.S. Open.
Wow, man, that's really impressive. You know, you hear of, you know, people inventing submissions all the time. I always, you know, being a traditionalist and an old school guy, I always say like the purple belt is where guys really start getting inventive, you know, and start creating things.
Sure.
But now, you know, with this, like, you know, for you to be able to hit gogoplatas and buggies in competition at white belt, like that's pretty impressive to have that skill level to develop a move, and not only that, to perfect it and work on it to where it's actually working in competition.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I was just obsessed with both. Actually, I was obsessed with gogoplatas before I found buggy.
Yeah.
Like, just like, it's all I wanted to do. And then when I found buggy, it's like, I just was so obsessed to develop that and get better at that. And now it's, dude, it's everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, people still think of it like, okay, so Rogan was talking about it with what's his name? Something Maynard from Tool, the guy from Tool.
Oh, yeah.
And Rogan was like, you can't do a buggy choke? Because the dude was like, let me learn triangles first, right? He was like, I want to learn buggy choke, but I want to learn it when I have like 3 weeks to work on it with someone who really gets it. I was like, me. Anyway, but Rogan's like, you can't do a buggy choke? Oh, buggy choke's a good thing to learn, though, man. I saw someone pull one off in the UFC the other day, and I had to kind of, nobody knew what the fuck it was. I had to kind of explain it. And then he was talking about how, like, you know, he asked this guy to pull up video, and the guy pulled up the wrong video, but an even cooler video, because the one Rogan was talking about, the dude got slammed on his head and then knocked out. I know the video he's talking about.
Yeah.
Because he overcommitted to the squeeze, and he doesn't know how to control the posture and prevent the posture stand slam.
Right.
Which I have counters to all that shit, bro. Like that people don't even know yet. Like, but the video that dude pulled up was the video of a dude getting buggied to sleep in some European. I want to say it was in Russia or something. The language, I don't know what language it was. It sounded like Russian to me.
Yeah.
But dude got buggied to sleep, and that buggy actually won submission of the year in their organization.
Wow.
And so dude tried to posture, buggy choke, dude punched dude in the gut, and his posture broke back down, and then he buggied him so hard to sleep that when he stood up, he like threw him off like a dead body, bro. and Rogan's watching this on the show, and he's like, oh, he's out. And he's like, it's so sick, bro. So like, but you could tell the way he's talking about it, he still thinks of it like most jiu-jitsu does. They still think of it as one move from one position. They think of it as that one hips turned toward your opponent with your hands gabled and your legs triangled from bottom side control.
Not
That's
really
what people think
not
of as
realizing
the
there's a
buggy
system,
choke.
right?
Exactly, bro. It's everywhere. You can enter it and finish it from mount, from top side control, from top north south. You can enter it and finish it from having their back, from them having your back and you escaping one hook. You can enter and finish it from top Keisagatame, from bottom Keisagatame, from bottom side control, from bottom north south, like at least 2 ways from bottom north south. There's like, it must be like 10 entries from bottom side control variations. You can do it from double, you can enter it and finish it from double butterfly guard, single butterfly half guard, regular half guard, lockdown, multiple ways to enter it from rubber guard. Like, dude, it's you can enter it while standing. You can enter it while they take you down to almost every position. If they take you down to anything other than mounting you or neon bellying you, you can enter it.
Yeah. That's
like it's everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
And dude, there's so many like advanced transitions and additions and finishes in the system. It's just like, so when Rogan's talking about it's a good thing to learn, thinking it's one thing that has fatal flaws of overcommitting to the squeeze and having no option to control being slammed on your head.
Right.
And still thinking it's a good thing to learn.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these guys don't even know, bro. I'm a buggy choke Joe on the table. Put me on, Joe. I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah, man. That's crazy though. Like, it's got to be, something rewarding, or I don't even know the correct term, but to hear guys like Joe Rogan, experienced jiu-jitsu people and hearing all these people talk about it, man, and wanting to know more. And, let me ask you this. So you come from a really awesome academy being at Ralph Gracie's, and, Master Ralph has always been known for his grinding style, his hard-nosed training, and, our lineage is through Caesar. So
nice. I trained with Caesar for a while.
Yeah,
nice.
my instructors in the early days when Ralph and Caesar were together did a lot of training with Ralph. So
nice.
Hearing the stories that I've heard about Ralph, I've never had the pleasure to actually meet him in person, but all the stories I've heard, he's a traditionalist, he's a hard nose, he's tough, and what was Master Ralph's response to the buggy choke when he first saw it? What was his take on it? What did he say? Did he want to know more about it, or what was the deal?
Man, it was such an honor to get to show him, bro. Like, it was just like, huge honor to get to show him. And I actually had the chance to show him and a bunch of high-level black belts very deeply the system. And, bro, like, he didn't really say much about it, but he let me show him thoroughly. And for me, that was like probably like one of the hugest honors of my life, bro. Like that I actually got to show in depth. Like, of course, for me, I'm like, if he thinks it's bullshit, he's gonna stop me. He's not gonna watch. He's not gonna have his guys watch.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't really say, anything. He just, but he was just at promotions. It was such an honor, man, to get my brown belt with Master right there, and just one of the things he said in the promotions that really stuck with me, like I was crying, man, with listening to his talking about, like, he said every time he gives a belt to somebody, or a belt or a stripe, and you can see it the way when he puts it on, then he does the way he ties it. You can see the moment he's doing this thing. He said, every time I give the belt or the stripe, I say a prayer for loyalty and honor to be in the student's life. And like, this is not just a team. This is not just like a sport. This is our family. And it's like, bro, he's the realest real, man. He's the realest real.
He is, man. He's a legend in the jiu-jitsu game. I'm so glad, he got the coral belt, and like, obviously all the Gracies are well, well, world renowned for their Gracie jiu-jitsu, but Ralph has a unique style, man, and he's a special person, right? He's different. He's built different.
This is Grapplers Talk.